All right, if y'all are ready, we'll go ahead and get started. Join me for the invocation and pledge, please. Father, we thank you for the many blessings that you've given us, particularly, Lord, the ability to live in a nation like this country, in a county like Gilmer. We are truly blessed, and we thank you for those blessings. We ask, Father, for your guidance, that you would be with us as we work through the decisions that we need to make, that we can make the best decisions for the people of Gilmer County. We ask your blessings on those who are sick. We ask, Father, that you would look after those who have this COVID infection and other very serious illnesses, that you would be with them and watch over them, that you would watch over our first responders and those who keep us safe. These things, Father, we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would make a motion that the agenda be approved with the removal of item 13.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anybody have any corrections to the minutes for the February 9th executive session meeting, February 9th work session meeting, the February 10th regular meeting, or the February 10th executive session meeting minutes?
I'm good.
Okay. Do you have a motion to approve?
Is that a motion?
No, I was asking for a motion.
Oh, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sandy, you want to do our financial statement, please?
This is the financial report for February 28th. Each department should be at 17% of their expenditure budget used. There are no departments over budget at February 28th. Overall, we are at 11% of the total revenue budget received and 11% of the total expenditure budget used. Total revenue received to date, $3,740,840. Total expenditures to date, $3,769,306.
Any questions on the financial statement? Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you.
Anybody have any unfinished business?
I do not.
That'll bring us to rezonings. First one for James Self-Kitch, from A1 agricultural to R1 residential. So low density. This is to split 3.02 acres from 10.2 acre tract. With the split parcel to be used to build a second residence. First time, okay.
I'm good.
We'll make a motion to be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. For Lillian Vasquez Romero and James Vasquez for A1 agricultural to R1 residential low density. This is to split the parcel, put a second home, split a 3.0 acre parcel, put on a second home. I would make a motion to be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
For Keith Sumner, from R1 residential low density to C1 commercial, replace many warehouses. Actually, item 3 and 4 are the same things. And we can do this together. I would make a motion that items 3 and 4 be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Philip Cash, Jane Whitson Quintrell, and Britton Lyle Quintrell. We have 3 of these. I think that we can look at all of these together. And before we get started on these, I have a statement I want to make. And I want to read this into the records of the meeting. Please. I see that we're well represented by builders here tonight. I suppose Mr. Quintrell was right when he made the comment that he was coming tonight and he was bringing the builders with him. So I welcome you all. At our work session yesterday, we discussed several items that concerned us regarding these particular requests. Water was the first. My discussion with Blue Ridge officials convinced me that any mention of bringing city water in from Blue Ridge was factually incorrect. It bothered me that this was presented to us as basically a done deal. I believe the backup plan was to drill 1 or more community wells. At this point, that appears to be the only viable plan. That is not in itself a disqualifier, but it is disconcerting to me. We also discussed the access from Fannin County and the fact that emergency vehicles would have to drive into Fannin County and come back into Gilmer to get to these properties. Trying to provide safety and health services to this area will be a challenge and will seriously tax the county's resources. Apparently, Mr. Quintrell left here with the impression that there was a good chance that these proposals would be denied, and spread the word. Within a couple of hours, I was getting emails reminding me that there were people watching how I would vote on this and demanding to know where I stood. I received a notice that the builders would be here tonight to watch what I do. And yes, I felt that these were all intimidation tactics designed to pressure me into voting to approve these requests. If there was any doubt in my mind, Mr. Quintrell erased that when he told our planning and zoning representatives this morning that he was coming and he was bringing the builders with him. He further asked, "You know what week this is, don't you?" This was an obvious reference to the fact that this is qualifying week. And for several weeks now, the builders have been making calls to find someone to run against me with their support. I was seriously disappointed to hear this, as I felt and still feel that I've worked closely with the Builders Association for the last 7 years to the mutual benefit of their membership and the people of Gilmer County. I've had discussions with them recently to reinforce the idea that there needed to be a partnership between the builders and the Board of Commissioners so that we could work together to ensure that the inevitable growth coming to Gilmer would be managed properly from all perspectives. I made the comment in my meetings with the builders that I will always support local builders over the big city developers that look at Gilmer County and just see dollar signs. I stand by that. However, I'm disappointed to see that being used against me. I didn't mean to imply that I would vote to accept any plan that came along, no matter how bad I thought it might be, just because it's being proposed by local builders. I'm convinced that there are many fine people associated with the Builders Association. Almost all of them, in fact, are decent people with good intentions. As individuals, they have my complete respect. They work hard and they provide a valuable service and a valuable industry to our county. We're fortunate to have them. I very much want to have a good working relationship with them. I like them and I respect what they do. But sometimes, despite our best efforts, the mob mentality prevails. I was clear that there would be times when we would disagree, and they seemed to understand and accept that. I thought that because we had worked so well together in the past, that there was a mutual respect, not just my respect for them. Apparently, I was being naive. So let me be very clear now. I will always cast my vote on any subject with my only objective being to do what is best for the citizens of Gilmer County. I don't mind people trying to influence my vote in a proper way. That's politics in America. I don't mind listening to arguments for or against any proposal in an unbiased manner and seriously considering whatever points are made. I don't mind changing my position if the totality of the information I have warrants it. I do very much mind being told how I have to vote. Even more than that, I mind the intimidation tactics. Yes, Mr. Quintrell, I see that you did bring the builders with you. And yes, it has been made very clear to me what is expected of me. And finally, yes, I most definitely do know what week this is. That means that tomorrow is still available to y'all to install your own candidate. They will be more willing to accept your demands. So y'all do what you have to do, and we'll let the voters of Gilmer County sort it out. And whatever they decide, I'll be fine with it. In the meantime, it will be my intention to examine the facts carefully and make decisions that I feel are best for our county, rather than simply vote the way I'm told. With that, I'll open the floor for any discussion the commissioners wish to have on these proposals.
As we said yesterday, I think the road is a real problem to me. It's not a Fannin County road, certainly not a Gilmer County road. We don't know a lot more about it except there's a right-of-way or an easement. That's a very big concern to me.
And I'll say for me, I was very careful when helping with the comprehensive plan that I would protect our natural resources, and intentionally made that area outside of that forest, national forest, kept it ag intentionally without building in that area. So for me, it's about protecting the national forest and that border, and I believe that 1 acre lots is just too high the density to build right along the edge of the national forest.
I would point out that if these three proposals are denied, that does not keep the Quintrells from developing their subdivision. They'll have a few less homes, not a lot, but a few. And if they act quickly, and I think they have the capability already to do this probably, they can get in and create this subdivision and have it done under the 3 acre rule before we ever go to the 5 acres. And we will certainly, if it is denied, we will certainly work with you to ensure that we can get that in time to be considered under the 3 acre rule. Are there any other discussion items? Okay, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion that we deny the request on all three rezonings.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item is Yvette Sarita Lopez and Mario Lopez, R1 residential low density to A1 agricultural.
And this is the Tails Creek, right? Yes.
That was great.
Just to remind you that I'm recusing myself from this.
Right.
Your family property.
And as I understand it, this is no conditional use or anything. This is just for the agriculture.
Right.
So that being the case, I would make a motion that it be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Count Cherry Log Incorporated from C1 commercial to R1 residential low density. This is a split parcel to build a single family dwelling, 1.5 acres out from a 25.31 acre tract. This one and the following number 10 Highland Spring Farm. We do have an issue with this in terms of the advertising and the signs that were put up. Some folks felt that they weren't able to see the signs properly and tell what was coming there. So I don't think we really have any choice on this but to remand this back to the planning and zoning for, to re-advertise it and bring it back before them. And I would make a motion to that effect.
On number 9, there was also a problem of survey identifying the parcel.
Right. Right.
So I, with that note, I'd second your
Okay.
motion.
Yeah, I'll modify my motion to include that, so. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that brings us to citizens wishing to speak. Anybody that would like to speak on any topic? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chairman Harris, Commissioner Parker, and Commissioner Ferguson. I'm Barbara Murray of the Captain James Kell chapter of the DAR, and I have several of the daughters from James Kell chapter here with us. Jennifer Anderson, Judith Price, Lori Texan, and Linda Bennett, and Helen Rowan is sitting back there. She's shy. All right. Daughters of the American Revolution, or DAR, is the largest heritage society in the country. It has over 3,000 chapters in the United States and 190,000 members. We promote education, historic preservation, patriotism, and citizenship through meaningful community service that totals over 5 million hours annually. Our local chapter, the Captain James Kell chapter, has 58 members and each year provides about 4,000 hours of community service, such as providing clothes for homeless veterans, care packages to veterans abroad, raising funds for scholarships, patriotic activities such as supporting Memorial Day, Flag Day, 4th of July, Veterans Day celebrations, and others. These are just a few of our activities. We are seeking the Commissioner's approval to mount a 24-inch by 24-inch bronze marker on the exterior of the county courthouse facing the square between the arch formed by the steps at eye level when standing on the sidewalk. And that 24 by 24 marker is a part of the American 250 Marker Project to celebrate patriots who fought so bravely for freedom from 1775 to 1783. The semi-quincentennial, or 250th anniversary of our country, will be commemorated in nationwide events on July 4th, 2026, led by the Semi-Quincentennial Commission established by Congress. The Commission partners with DAR, the largest patriotic women's organization in the nation. We are requesting the Commissioners tonight join us to celebrate this initiative to commemorate our nation's 250th anniversary. The America 250 Patriot markers will be placed around the country by most of our 3,000 chapters in a prominent place in their community to honor those who supported the Revolutionary War. The marker will read thusly: Revolutionary War Patriots. The marker commemorates the men and women who achieved American independence. These patriots, believing in the noble cause of liberty, fought valiantly to found a new nation, 1775 to 1783. It's presented by the Captain James Kell chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution, in honor of the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. On behalf of the Captain James Kell chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution, we thank you for your time. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, if not, the next item, number 11, I think we indicated yesterday we needed to do checking into that, so I would suggest that we table that and go on. Discussion, possible action on a replacement phone system. I did speak with the Verizon folks today and asked them how long their monthly offer was good for. They told me that this is a no contract offer and there is no time limit on it. It's open, that they intend to honor it going forward. So. Now, that said, if this is, these figures are pretty comparable, I believe the indication yesterday was that we would prefer to stay with the local vendor on it.
I'm having a little trouble determining just what ETC is presented here. In the first page, they have a figure. On the second page, they have a figure. It indicates that's the rental option.
Right, the second page assumes releasing the phones. The first page assumes that we're purchasing the phones. So the rental is less on when the phones are purchased than it is if we're leasing it. What I don't see in here though is there was a one-time cost. Yeah, but this is, I'm thinking there was something more along the lines of 30-some thousand, but all I see here is 15. Now, the thing that bothers me about that is if you look on the lease page, it's also a 15,000 one-time cost. If we're leasing the phones, we shouldn't be paying to purchase the phones.
I think
The one-time should be less.
installation, training.
Right. My only question is there a figure that's not on page 1 for the purchase of the phones that we're not seeing here?
Obviously, there is.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to purchase than to lease.
The monthly rate is cheaper, yeah.
Even if uses a lower figure, $3,000, you do it for 2 years. ETC is $8,000 more. So, if we're comparing apples to apples, and it's not, frankly, not clear. You've dealt with it more than I have, but it's not clear to me.
Verizon is giving us a pretty decent offer just because they want the business.
Sure.
Their original estimate for the equipment was, and I'm rounding up now, $31,000. And so what they said is that they would do that as a promotion and eat that in order to get the business. So there's very little upfront cost at all with the Verizon plan.
And does this include, so this provision, does this include them repairing them for ETC? I mean, a service?
On the lower figure, the $31.99, where we purchase the phones,
Right.
the phones would come with a warranty. During that warranty, they'd be repaired. After that, we would pay to have them repaired.
Okay. You know how long the warranty is?
The warranty was for 1 year, I believe.
For
1 year.
1 year.
Now, on the second plan for the $4,200 a month, that was leasing the phones, and they would totally maintain everything.
On the Verizon, we'd be leasing, and they would be maintaining.
Correct.
We're leasing and they maintain them in this price?
Yes, but I'll verify that.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I don't see it written
Yeah.
anywhere.
Now, this is not an emergency. We have time to say that we can put this on the April agenda and, clarify any questions here.
Well, from a cost standpoint, there'd be no question with what I know now.
We just need to make sure that this would be for a lease and they maintain it so that we're looking at apples to apples.
Right.
I'd feel better if you found that out.
They actually have a trip planned here, a visit here for next week.
All right, and so then we'll really find out what, because they may come back and go, oh, wait.
Well, they base their figures on the same number of phones, same type of phones that have been put into the ETC request. But they said they'd like to come out and just look at the place. So they're coming out. I've made an appointment with them for next week. So, maybe the thing to do is let's just put this on the April agenda.
So we have a motion to table it, right?
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next item is discussion of possible action of Daughters of the American Revolution to place a historical marker at the courthouse. I kind of like the marker once we decided that New York wouldn't be on it. So I'm going to make a motion that we approve their request.
I'll second that and thank them for the good job.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion and possible action of local government scrap tire amnesty reimbursement and right-of-way agreement. Jim wasn't able to make it here tonight. Ryan, are you familiar with this, or should we wait until we can hear from Jim on it?
I'm a little bit familiar with it. It started shortly after I was lucky enough to be hired. The local tire amnesty program is something we put on every year where people can come in and at no cost to themselves, they are able to bring tires, whether it be tire dumps in the property or just tires found throughout the county. And that need to be cleaned when they're taken off to approved sites where they are recycled. The point that Jim was coming with yesterday was basically that every year we have to renew the paperwork and then we'll just need the commissioner's signature with it. And that's, we're starting to get the ball rolling on that for this year as well. And that's really all that was about.
So this would just be to sign the contract with them for the reimbursement.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to authorize the chairman to sign the necessary paperwork for the amnesty tire agreement.
I'll second that. All in favor?
I have one question.
I'm sorry.
What is the right-of-way agreement that's attached to that?
Picking up along the roadway.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it. Perfect. I totally agree. Yes,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Discussion and possible action of budget amendments. I think y'all got a copy of the ARPA current, what's that? That's, and the item in question is on here is road striping. And of course, road striping would not be a capital expenditure. We did, as I recall, we did vote to allocate that. So what we would need would be a motion to rescind that vote.
I'll make a motion to rescind the vote in February meeting, which designated $200,000 of ARPA funds for road striping.
Okay, would you be amenable to an amendment to say that that 200,000 then would be dropped down into the HVAC ventilation upgrades?
Sorry.
Would you be amenable to an amendment to that budget to say that this $200,000, once removed from road striping, would be dropped down into the HVAC ventilation upgrades for now? So that it would still be allocated?
We certainly can do it. Have we voted on these items?
It's my understanding that we did way back at the beginning.
They were first.
Yeah, I've seen it,
I have no problem with that.
yeah, okay.
So your amended motion, I'll agree with your amendment.
Okay. I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so that'll clear up the capital expenditure problem there. Does anybody have a need for an executive session?
Yes.
Okay. No action, or action?
Yes, with the action.
Okay. So then I would make a motion that we go into executive session with action to be taken afterwards.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you, folks. We appreciate it.
I make a motion to come out of executive session with action to be taken.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we initiate the complaint
That was
in
discussed
connection
in
with,
executive session. That was discussed in executive.
that was discussed in executive session.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now Hubert.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, folks.